The time I bought a vehicle from a police auction. The follow story may not be scary, but more creepy, I guess. Back around 1999, my ex worked for a towing company that also did police tows, storage yard, and full-service body shop. She worked as a receptionist there, and back then I loved to get old cars and work on them and then sell them. So whenever a car or truck would come up in auction, she would let me know about it. Honestly, most of them were too beat up, like crashed from DUIs and stuff, so I passed on a lot of them. One day she called me to tell me about pickup truck with camper and hardly no body damage. I went to go look at it, and the thing had some minor body issues. Nothing that I couldn't work with. I was more about fixing mechanical than body. I put in an opening bid for like $350 and cap at $550. The tow yard had to auction to cover the tow and storage fee. So I ended up winning the bid at $500. I had it towed to my house and parked it in my driveway as it was lifted and couldn't fit in my garage anyway. At the tow yard, they didn't let me open the truck up to look inside, but I got to look at the engine. At the tow yard, I could see the cab and the back were covered in junk like a pack rat lived inside it. So, when we got it home, one of my first things was to throw away all the trash inside. I put on a pair of rubber gloves and filled up my main trash can and got a couple big black trash bags to throw other things away. Since I started with the cab, there was tons of cigarette butts, fast food containers, beer bottles, random trash, and a booch of cassette tapes. I did find empty containers that looked like it once held drugs, and even some leftovers of pot and roaches. Honestly, the start of doing all this was just plain disgusting. Whoever owned this truck before must have lived out of it or something. Also, I forgot to mention the truck was from out-of-state Idaho, I believe. The following week, I got to work in the back. This is where it started to get really weird. The guy had an ice chest, like a small one, that would have held about a 6-pack inside. I was about to just toss the entire thing in the trash, but something inside me was like, open it. I slowly turned the lid to the open position, and what I found inside was really WTF. It was full of girls' panties. They were like young girls' panties, not women, but young girls. I tossed it in the trash, I continued to clear out the truck, and found lots of porn inside. Not like regular porn, but like storybooks, mostly about incest and that kind of crap. I threw those away. By this time, my ex came outside to help me, and she found a bag with more girls' panties. They were not new, but there were a lot of them. We also found more drugs, an old 35mm film container halfway filled with pot. We found a small baggie with pills. So we started setting all the stuff aside. I pulled out the cooler, bags of panties, drugs, and I left the porn in the trash. But my ex was able to look up what kind of police tow this was, and all she was able to find out was that the guy was pulled over with warrants. We also found thrown around the truck pantyhose and more adult-looking panties. But what made the whole scene seem even more creepy was that the other items found, like rolls of duct tape, rope, a men's bloody shirt, condoms, girls' socks, a notebook with weird writings inside. That day, when we were just about done with cleaning out the truck, I called our local police department and explained to the officer that took my call that I bought a truck from auction and what I found. Surprisingly, he told me to just throw it all away. I thought they were going to send an officer to pick up the drugs, at least. So I threw everything away like he said. My ex said the police would usually search the vehicles, but I guess they didn't want to search this one because of how much dirty crap was inside. This is also why I had the winning bid, because I guess no one else wanted to deal with it. Fast forward about a month or so, my ex's coworker was interested in what we found and was able to ask a police friend of hers what he could tell us about. The previous owner was arrested for multiple warrants, and one of them was rape by force. I owned that truck for about 10 years, and then I got rid of it because it was a gas hog.